thank you for ASPA and for what it represents, and for these that have come from far and near, from villages and hamlets, from municipalities to metroplex areas. We thank you for those who serve in municipal government and those who serve in the sector of public law.
My name is Dovey Dawson, like lovey-dovey, and I am the chair of the section on public law, which you may hear pronounced as SPLA. I'm also one of the district council representatives for the American Society for Public Administration, which you'll hear called ASPA as well.
Susan, as you know, is our incoming president-elect for ASPA, and as of Tuesday, she will be president. And so, Susan, welcome to Seattle again, and we look forward to hearing your comments. Please welcome Susan T.
Well, good evening, everyone. I am delighted to be able to share some comments with you this evening and reflecting on the book, my most recent book, Race and Social Equity, a Nervous Area of Government. But before I do that, I would be remiss in also not echoing my thanks to Dovey Dawson and the wonderful job that she has done in planning this event. She has poured her heart into this. And thank you, Dovey, for all that you do for ASPA and for all that you do for the section on public law and administration. So why do I focus on race? Well, I focus on race in the book because I think it remains one of the enduring challenges of society in the United States and in the world abroad. And so I use Glenn Laurie's definition of race, which essentially says it is a cluster of inheritable characteristics that can be changed or misrepresented only with great difficulty. And the most important part is that they operate in society against a given historical movement, and they have social meaning. So it's really the social meaning of these characteristics that's important. So these are physical traits that signify importance within a shared historical context. So that's a little bit about race and social equity, a nervous area of government, a glimpse of an outsider's view of Seattle. And I appreciate the opportunity to be able to share my thoughts with you this evening and welcome your feedback.
One of the first people that the government actually wanted to get rid of were the artists, were the musicians, were the holders of the culture. Another example of that is in Trinidad. In the late 1940s and the early 1950s, they actually made it illegal for people to perform music, black people at least. And so they were raiding houses, taking drums, guitars, and that's what actually birthed calypso music. Talk is cheap, but respect is expensive. That's like the car, cause heart's dark as the tent is. It's hard when you paying dues like the rent is. Kids getting gifts, selling trees like Christmas.
My name is Bruce Harrell. I'm president of the Seattle City Council. We have 9 council members. And a lot of the work that you were doing, that you were talking about, that we were fighting to do and continue to do, I actually was the only person of color on the council during that time. I'm of questionable race, as they say. I'm half black and half Japanese, so I get double counted, or I'm other, or whatever it is. But we're very fortunate now. We have 4 people of color on the council. We made some moves, and it's really nice hearing the stories, how you told it. And again, it's a fight, and I know you chose this particular profession that you've gone into because of your fight for justice and for fairness, and to make sure all voices are heard. And young brother, I love your performance. We were very gifted by that. Thank you. It's actually my honor to introduce Judge Marcia Peckman. I present to you Judge Peckman.
One of my colleagues is monitoring the Seattle Police Department and its relationship with its minority communities. Another one of my colleagues is monitoring the public defense delivery system in the northern counties because that failed and people were not getting good service. A third one of my colleagues is monitoring the fishing rights between the various tribes and has for dozens of years. And my contribution this year is I'm now monitoring the mental health hospitals in the state of Washington. Now, I didn't go to law school to monitor mental health hospitals. In fact, If you told me 2 years ago that's what I was gonna do, I would say, I don't think so. But I didn't know what the lawyers knew, and that they were developing the problem, they were bringing the issues so that a judge could help them make change. So this is for all the lawyers. Thank you.
Thank you so much for this award. I brought my own cheering section. My family, my father, and children are here, and my wife, and my colleagues who helped me, and as we work together, build a center that is able to work out some of the issues related to systemic disparities and social inequalities, and to help educate the next generation of young people who will lead the charge to really push both our governments, our municipalities, from the grassroots, from the bottom up.
This is a delightful award, and anybody who knows about the SPLA section will know that this is probably one of the most deserved awards ever. The award is for the Exemplary Service to the Section on Public Law and Administration Award. And if you haven't figured it out already, this goes to Ms. Dovey Dawson, who has been the heart and the soul of this organization.
I love you guys all. I mean, just over the years, I've just become friends. You know, it's no more just, oh, you're just going to the annual conference. It's more than that. And I just strive as a National Council representative, as a SWAPA board chair, as a SPLA chair, just to do whatever I could do just to keep things thriving, for things to improve, you know, for everyone. That's really my goal. And if I can do that, if it's just for one person, then I feel like I've reached my goal. So just to know my heart and my soul sings. That's just how I feel at this moment. So thank you.
It's an honor, and it gives me great pleasure to present this scholarship to Ashley Theodore Kelly. Ashley is a very passionate person. She is a very good student. She's working on a dissertation. So Ashley, if you would come forth and receive the John Moore Scholarship.
I just want to say I'm really honored to receive this award. I'm excited about the mentorship and training I'm going to get from this section, and I'm also excited to serve as your student representative for the next year.
We have a special presentation for Dr. Susan Gooden. From this section, we just want to say thank you for coming and sharing your stories and your book and your experiences with us. And I just want to read what's on the award. It's with our greatest appreciation, we present you, Dr. Susan T. Gooden, with this award of appreciation to express our gratitude for sharing your experience, strength, and hope with us. We appreciate your humble and dedicated service. So from the SPLA board to you, thank you.
Thank you so much, Dovey, and thank you to the section. This means a lot. I really appreciate it, and I'm just really proud and pleased to be able to contribute in a small way. Thank you.
And now we'll have some special remarks from our Executive Director of ASPA, Mr. Bill Schultz.
It is wonderful to be here as the Executive Director of ASPA for the past couple of years. One of the great things I've had the privilege of doing is to not spend every day at the office, but to have the opportunity to travel around the country to our locally based chapters, but also to participate in programming initiated by our sections, including the section on public law and administration. And my first SPLA event was last year in Chicago, where I didn't quite tease Dubby, but I thought it was a well-deserved honor, and I told her how happy I was to see her receive it, and especially am happy to see her receive the award tonight. I mean, one of the things that is very distinctive about Aspen is wonderful is the fact that so many of our activities, as much as we have a national office and a staff, is that so many of our activities are member-led and member-driven. And tonight is a perfect illustration of that. I mean, everything that you've seen here tonight is, in fact, due in all part, not in small part or some part, but all part, to the wonderful work of Dubby and her colleagues, Horace and everyone. And so I just want to give them, on behalf of the national office and our staff, great congratulations. And I think it's also appropriate to say that one of the wonderful things that Dubby has done and her team has done with these events is that we bring the national conference to different locations around the country from year to year. But what's so great is that in developing this program, there's always a local element. And you saw that tonight in the remarks delivered by our guest speakers. We saw it tonight in terms of the awardees. And so you really have brought national ASPA, the national organization, down to the local level. And that's very, very special. And I think it's something that's really worth celebrating. So on behalf, again, of the national office, it's wonderful to be here. Welcome to Seattle for those of you who are visiting, and we look forward to the next few days together. So thank you so very much.